More proof that the Minnesota maniacs are fighting for predators, rapists, and hardened criminals. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem announcing 10,000 criminal migrant arrests in Minneapolis, including 3,000 bad hombres they just got off the streets in the last 6 weeks. President Trump doing a little show and tell of his handiwork. Watch.
I can show you some of the people, vicious, many of them murderers. These are all out of Minnesota, just Minnesota. You know, if you didn't have open border policies of Biden, none of this, all of the things that all of the time that we spend talking about Minnesota and everything else, most of them are coming from out of the country. And it's been caused by a previous administration. These are just in Minnesota. California, it's worse. In other states, it's worse.
And now celebrities are getting in on the anti-ICE bandwagon. Check out what Bruce Springsteen and Ellen are saying.
If you believe you don't deserve to be murdered for exercising your American right to protest, and send a message to this president, and as the mayor of that city has said, ICE should get the out of Minneapolis.
And I'm proud of everyone who's protesting peacefully, and I am sorry for anyone who has been hurt just for protesting, for doing what you should be doing.
How brave, Greg.
Yes. Who was that guy? Boy, talk about a virtue signal from afar. How desperate she has to be for friendship. Nobody likes her here. Nobody likes her there. It's why she's moving back. It's a shame Donald Trump has to do this show and tell, but this is due to performative ignorance, which is done by anchors on other networks, activists, politicians who deliberately misunderstand an issue. So you are forced to do the heavy lifting of explaining it. We know this feeling. Then there's this real ignorance, which is Springsteen, which he said, it's not about it's about the right to protest. No, it's not. It's about the city's corruption. ICE detained roughly 400,000 people. The percentage of properly detained actual illegals is between 99.8 and 99.95%. No entity in government has that batting average unless you're measuring corruption. But it's irrelevant because they go after the viral videos instead. Then you start thinking about, like, well, how did this happen? What is he talking about? Well, you have these riskier arrests because there is no shared info between the local law enforcement and federal law enforcement. So the apprehensions are, you have to look for them. You have to ask for the papers, as the Democrats like to say. You are asking people for the papers. That's because your guys won't give us the papers. So you have to like explain to people, like, oh yeah, ICE did break down a door. You're right, but behind that door were 2 convicted sex offenders. You always have to do these steps. And it's exhausting. And I think the reason why they do this is because they assume that in an environment where they can pretend they're stupid, you don't have time to explain to them, like, why communism is bad. Well, there's USSR, there's China. Or you could say, like, they go like, trans rights is human rights. And then you're go like, okay, do I have to explain to them that they're the chromosomes, they can't flip? X, Y, X, X, it doesn't happen, but I really don't feel like it. So they're always trying to rely on your reluctance to school them on issues that they probably already know. They do this with trans, they do this with ICE, do it with no cash bail, they do it with corruption. You start explaining oversight and they act like you're speaking a foreign language. Last thing I want to say, and it's just about the church thing, which is a perfect example. Here you had people just basically invade a church, and what bugged me most about it is, you don't know why. I guess what gets me mad is what Don Lemon said, that these are white nationalists. They picked a white church so they could say that.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.